Whether you're 51 or 75, this is for you. And if you're listening today, I just want to remind you, you are right on time. You're not behind. You're not late. It's about time to put your joy at the top of your to-do list. Hey, love, welcome back to another episode of Rollerset to Mindset. I'm Angela, and why don't we just go ahead and dive in? I'm excited about this episode. It's a quick but powerful episode, and I hope it blesses you beyond measure. There's something so powerful about reaching the age of 50 and beyond. You've likely raised others, you've supported your partners. I'm sure you have built careers and done a whole lot of other things. And maybe you've carried more than your fair share. But let me say this clearly. On this first Sunday, I want you to embrace joy, because as the words say, joy cometh in the morning. And morning is not necessarily when the sun rises. Your morning is any day, any time that you make a decision that joy is your superpower. And joy is not a reward you earn after everything else is done. In my opinion, it is your birthright. And bliss, oh, yes, bliss isn't a bonus. So many times we feel like uh, it's just like something that we should just get a little bit of. You know, like if you're trying to lose some weight, you just have a little bit of cake. No, 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 no. Bliss isn't a bonus. Bliss is fuel. And let me tell you, there is no age where that stops being true, especially at 50 plus. A woman over 50 who chooses herself? Listen, that is not on the top of the list these days, but you know what? Who says this? Who says I'm going to build a life that lights me up now? A woman who could affirm that for herself, in my opinion, I believe she is unstoppable. That kind of joy that you bring to the world when you choose you is disruptive. Because what it does, it challenges expectations. And not only that, it shows younger women what's possible for them. And it reminds you that your best ideas, your most beautiful days might still be ahead of you. Now, choosing joy for yourself does not mean that you are neglecting others, that you are not considering someone else. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about, in addition to you showing love and joy and kindness to others, you have to be willing to give that to yourself. You know, the word says, love your neighbor as you love yourself. And love encompasses a whole lot of things. So unless you are pouring love into yourself, you are loving on others, in my opinion, in an inferior manner. So yes, lavish yourself with love. Lavish yourself with joy. Lavish yourself with kindness. And when you give to others, you will be giving out of your overflow. You know, sometimes it's investing in you. That's how you have to look at it. Sometimes you have to say, I am finally investing in me. What do I mean by that? It could be something as simple as you wanting to sign up for a class to learn something new. If you are an entrepreneur, it could be launching an offer that you've been thinking about, or building something of your own. Like I say, and I always say, your lived experience is your competitive advantage. And so you're not starting too late. Please don't ever think that you're starting too late. You're starting with a clearer sense of mind and a stronger sense of direction. You're starting smarter with the things that you want to do. And guess what? You're starting with your receipts. You're starting with your social proof. Joy might look like not shrinking anymore. Have you considered that? Can you recall a time when you stepped into a room and because of the caliber of women that may have been in that room, that you felt smaller and you allowed yourself to shrink? Because a lot of times we question whether we even belong in the room. A lot of times we question whether we even belong at that seat, in the seat at the table. You get what I'm saying? So joy might look like not shrinking anymore, wearing what you want, what you're comfortable with. And if you're an entrepreneur, joy could very well look like charging what you're worth or choosing peace over proving yourself. That is a strong statement I just made. Choosing peace over proving yourself. I know a lot of you out there have to be tired of proving yourself. Because when you think you have to prove yourself, that means you're taking the opinion of others over the opinion that you have or what God says you are. God says you are perfectly, beautifully, and wonderfully made. And when you're trying to prove yourself to people, that means you are not quite sure. You don't believe God. You haven't brought yourself to the point where you believe who He says that you are. So let's address that right now. If you are in the position, grab yourself some stationery and a pen, and I'm going to give you some action steps that you can use to invite more joy, bliss, and peace into your life. Because joy comes from an internal place. So, you ready? Let's get started. What I want you to do, number one, the first action step I want you to take is, and it's very simple, I want you to audit your calendar for joy. That's right, audit your calendar for joy. Go look at the next 2 weeks. And if there's not at least one thing just for you, I want you to add it. Even if it's a 30-minute walk or dinner by yourself with your favorite music, your favorite restaurant, you know, do that. Put it on the calendar. Make a date with yourself. The second thing I want you to do, action step number 2, I want you to say yes. Say absolutely yes to something you've been feeling like you want to do, but you may appear to be too irresponsible to do it. You know what I mean? Learn to play a little bit. Learn to laugh and have fun. Like, why don't you grab some paint and just paint again? What about booking a trip? Booking a trip by yourself? What about just doing something that brings you joy? Launch an offer if you're an entrepreneur. Dust it off and launch it imperfectly. So many times we fail to put what God has given us in form of ideas and our imagination. We are afraid to put it out into the world. God gave it to us so that we can put it out into the world and do it imperfectly. When God created the heaven and the earth, He pronounced it good. He didn't pronounce it perfect. So go ahead and do it imperfectly because it is good. And as I said, it's about time. It's about time for you, sis. Skip the rehearsal. This is opening night for you. 50 plus is opening night for you. And I want you to embrace that. And the third step I want you to do is I want you to surround yourself with mirrors, not critics. A lot of times we can't elevate because of the company that we keep. You understand what I'm saying? We need to start surrounding ourselves with mirrors, not critics. And people who are going to lift us up, people who are going to encourage us and inspire us to go forth with that idea. Go ahead and climb that mountain. Surround yourself with people who remind you of who you are and who you are striving to be. If you've got critics on speed dial, you know those type. You know exactly who I'm talking about. I'm sure someone came to mind when I said that. I want you to swap those folks out with people who've got receipts and respect for your journey. And you know who those folks are. Now, these three action steps, they can be done, and they can be done in a day, in a moment. Write it down, make it happen, make some promises to yourself, and keep them. And so let me end with this one final word, okay? One final word, and I do hope you take it as a power move for you, okay? Let me close with this. Joy is your protest. Bliss is your blueprint. And if no one taught you how to center it before, that's okay. You get to teach yourself now. And when you learn it, then you teach it to someone else. Because joy is not selfish, as a lot of us may think. You know, joy is sacred. As I said earlier, joy comes from within. You know, it's your fuel for your life. It's your fuel for your next chapter. It's your fuel for your elevation. And so whether that next chapter is launching something new as an entrepreneur, whether that next chapter is healing in your body, healing in your mind, healing in your spirit, or whether that next chapter is just being more of you, getting to know yourself and being comfortable with being yourself once and for all. That's what is waiting for you when you choose joy. So repeat after me. I deserve joy. Not when it's convenient, not when others approve, but I deserve joy now. Noun faith. Noun faith. Noun faith in joy. I hope you have enjoyed this first Sunday episode, and I want to invite you to be a part of my membership that's housed on School, a free membership that's housed on School, the Fuller Life Chapter Hub, a free membership in which women can come together and support one another and grow and learn from one another as the community that supports women. And so I'll leave the link below, and I will see you next time. Thank you so much for listening. I'll talk with you soon. Okay? Bye. Mwah. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to follow along on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook, all at Angela B. Fuller. Join us every Sunday and Wednesday morning for new episodes. Okay? Bye.